Double click on the first floor plan so that we can add dimensions to our first floor plan. Before we do that, I want to point out that our elevation tags and our section tags no longer have just dashes in them for reference. They actually have sheet numbers and detail numbers because we put them on sheets, and so they can now be referenced and located on those sheets. So what we're going to do now is add the dimensions to locate all of the windows and doors on the outside, and we're going to label the rooms. So let's begin by labeling the rooms. I'm going to go to Architecture, Room, and then I want to click on the spaces. I don't want to have this have the room numbers, so I just want a room tag. And I guess I have to edit type and turn off the room number. But these tags, if we go in, you can see I can show volume or area if I'd like to. So we'll click here, here, and here, which define our spaces. Now if I wanted to create a separate room tag for where the kitchen might be, I can use Room Separator and draw a line. This is especially important to know how to do when you don't have walls defining your rooms. Now I can define this area as our kitchen area. And this area might be living, dining, bath, and bedroom. Annotation is the tab we'll use to add dimensions, and the kinds of dimensions you're almost always going to be using are aligned dimensions. Get in close to your exterior wall, and we're going to use that tab key again to tab through until we see the outside face of core highlighted for our first extension line. Then go to the center of the window, the center of the wall that we see here, and then we'll use the tab key again to highlight the outside face of stud. When we put that string of dimensions, you'll see that it will lock to the correct distance away from that outside exterior dimension that we had when we turned that temporary dimension into a real dimension. I'm going to fix this problem here after I get all the rest of the dimensions in, so let's continue to place those dimensions. So start by putting your cursor near the line that you want to select and hitting tab, which will highlight it, and then go through and find all the doors and windows and interior partitions that we can dimension to on the exterior side. Now I'm going to add another align dimension on this side that gives us our overall width dimension. And now we have all the things that we need for exterior dimensioned, but a lot of cleanup needs to happen. So I'm going to start with this first window. I would select the window, then select the dimension that I want to change. I'm going to change that to an even 5 feet. That in turn ended up correcting the rest of the dimensions in that string, so we're all set on that side. This dimension is correct because it's defined by the size of this tub, so we're not going to edit that wall, but I don't need to necessarily have these funky dimensions for that window. So I'm going to select the window and I'll set that to 5 feet. This should be the leftover 3/4 of an inch that we borrowed from here, so we'll leave those dimensions as is. The front of the house we'll start with, again, just start from left to right. Start with the first window you come to. Let's set that to 4 feet. Then I'm going to select the door, going to select the next item to move. I'm going to change that to 4 feet. The wall should be in the correct location because we already set it on this side, so we don't need to move that. and then I'll pick the window next, and let's set this to 5 feet. Last side would be the left here. You see when you get too far away from your item, you get your temporary dimension on top of your real dimension. Just zoom in a little closer so that those separate, and make sure you're picking the correct dimension. I'll set that to 5 feet as well. So now everything's been dimensioned properly. We could write a note indicating where we'd like to have the doors placed on the interior. So let's make corrections to this problem here. I would either move these strings out so that they clear the section, or you can play around with circling, seeing if the tail should be on this side and should the section be on that side. That's up to you. I think this was probably the best scenario here, most readable. We have one extension line crossing over that. You can break or put a break in the extension lines. We can also adjust the location of that section view, call out rather, pulling it a little bit closer, but I do know that I'm going to be adding a tag to that window as well. So the other option is to slightly move that section over a little bit so it still goes through the window. It's not going to really change much in our section, and that gives us room for the tag. So now we want to add tags to the doors and windows, and I like to use tag all. Let's add door tags first, and there's our doors all tagged. You can renumber these, so I prefer to number the exterior door number 1, so I'm going to change it by changing this to 1. It will give me a warning that I have duplicates, but I'm going to fix it right now, so I'm going to ignore the warning. Change that to 3 and 2. There we go. Now we'll tag the windows. Tag all the windows. And those tags show up with numbers, which I do not prefer. I prefer letters. I also like to make sure the extension lines don't cross over the dimensions. So we have a window that's missing here, and that window isn't showing up because of our cut line. So let's fix that situation. So we want to go to our view range under properties. Make sure nothing is selected, and you'll see the same settings over here. So find view range when it says floor plan here, edit, and let's raise that cut plane to 5 feet. See if that corrects the problem, and it does. Okay, so I'm just going to go around and adjust the extension lines so that they don't run over the window tags. If your window tags end up appearing on the inside like this, that is because you put your window in backwards, or the inside of the window is on the outside and vice versa. So you would flip the window, and then you can manually move the tag out, which it will show you when it's aligned with the others. Okay, let's get rid of that window. Now I like to use letters, as I said, so I'm going to go to one of those windows that says 37 and change it to a capital letter A. It will tell me that it's going to change the rest of them, which it does, and then we'll change this to B, and this one will be changed to C. Okay. In the first floor plan, I think we have enough room to add the doors and door and window schedules to this plan, so we'll go ahead and do that now that we've tagged them. Oh, I do need to add dimension to that window. So I just double clicked inside the viewport while I'm in the sheet, so it's activating that view. Click on that list of dimensions and we'll edit witness line and just add that window dimension to the list. Now to get out of adding any more witnesses, click on nothing at all and those dimensions will remain. So now I don't like those dimensions, so I want to select that window and let's change this to 5 feet. And now we have that window dimensioned properly. Not quite. Now we have it dimensioned properly.